Welcome everybody to the Death Battle Cast. Super Money 2 minutes late, shaking my head. Well, you know what? We start this show whenever we feel like it. That's how
Yeah.
that would be a terrible.
I was talking.
We
Also,
spent all that time trying to figure out if we knew the correct pronunciation of Geass.
Geass?
Yeah.
Geass?
So
Tell me if it's
that was
wrong.
really, if
I
we're
don't
late,
know.
it's because we were all
care.
going Geass, Gus. Like, this is
also,
for 8
like
minutes.
the
of
last
that.
2 weeks we've gone over, so like, whatever.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's fine. Okay, yes. So, that is that is a good indication of what we're talking about today, which is a suggestion we had from a pitch, which is Lelouch from Code Geass versus Char from the original Gundam series. And I'm very excited to get into this because I'm a big fan of Gundam. I knew nothing about Gundam before going into our Gundam death battles. We did Wing Zero, or Epion specifically, in an old school episode of Death Battle, and then we brought in the classic Gundam for a fight against Optimus Prime. It's been a while since then, but like I got really into OG Gundam when we were doing that episode, so I'm excited to talk about it. Also, of course, Ten Tails is here.
Asnable sounds like an
Tails.
adjective.
Just
Go on.
sent a well. First of all, thank you, Ten Tails. I don't know how you have so many $100 tips in you. But this is a spicy $100. This is a hey. Can I just call out Liam and Sam for a moment about last week? Liam, what was that for King Orange? Like 20 to 30% was a lie. Like Orange can interact with the script but doesn't change the result. And Sam, you had the power of the reset and Hyper Gunner.
Hyper Goner, Chad, not
Goner.
Two very different aspects of this.
For Azrael.
I did not talk about Azrael's
so you-
Hyper Gunner ability.
You
no.
have to understand. This is how much I knew about King Orange before doing that cast.
He just dropped another $100.
Nothing. So I have no. So I was not lying. I may have been wrong, but I was not lying.
Yeah, okay. And then Ten Tails with another $100 super chat says, anyway, it was a fun cast.
Well, we're glad you liked it.
The first response to that one is Tony Sonic saying, how do you have so much money?
I feel like we, with the excitement the community has around and it's an animation versus animator or animator versus animation. I'll never get it right. It doesn't matter. AVA. I doubt that is the last time we are going to be talking about that franchise anyways. So yeah.
Well, anyway, let's get into this one. There's something
super quick before Joe is saying, hey guys, coming to me from another glorious day at work, just asking who are the 16 characters that are going to compete on Champion Island. We will be talking a lot about Champion Island
today.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's what I wanted to get into. We've got a few different things to cover today. There's of course the matchup we're going to be talking about, which is Lelouch versus Char. Champions Island is in full swing. The essentially bidding for characters wrapped up this past weekend, and we are going to be revealing the roster for the two teams in just a bit. And then if you don't know what the heck we're talking about when it comes to Champions Island, don't worry, I'll explain it when we get to it later on in the show. We also have some other stuff coming up that we'll be talking about, but before we get into all that, you all clicked a video that says Lelouch versus Char in the title, so let's at least get that started, right? So let's talk about Code Geass and Gundam. So I can start, I suppose, Liam, if you want, because I will be repping Char and Liam will be repping Lelouch.
Okay.
And the way this is going to work is Liam and I are going to argue for our characters throughout this episode. And at the end of the show, if you're watching this live, you'll be able to vote on who you think should win a death battle. And yes, if you are unfamiliar with these characters, but have seen, artwork of Gundam and Code Geass, yes, this is a giant robot fight. So that's what we're going to be getting into. It's going to be very fun. And we love giant robot fights. So
yeah,
Char Aznable. Char Aznable is the I guess you could say, antagonist of the original Gundam series, the Universal Century series. The way Gundam works is there's like 20 different timelines of different series. Every other Gundam series is its own story with its own timeline or whatever. But this is the original one, right? And they keep coming back to it for new shows and movies and series because everybody likes it. It's really cool. I really like the Universal Century story, and like world. And Char's a cool character, but man, he's confusing. So Char's name is not Char. Char's name is actually Casval. Casval was the son of Zeon Zoom Daikun, who basically like pioneered this new way of thought, and this like space republic. So kind of the like setting of the Universal Century Gundam is mankind has ventured out into space, and now we know how to live in space, and we've built space colonies, and it's all this started like a year after Star Wars came out. There's not it's not a coincidence that the Gundams are swinging lightsabers around. So there's people living in space, but there's still people living on Earth, and so they kind of form some friction, right? Like there's all these colonizers out in space who start to get their own ideas, and they think, well, we live out in space, and the United Federation on Earth doesn't really understand us, so we should form our own, society, and our own culture, and our own, Republic of Zeon. And that's kind of the idea, is that the Space Noids, which is what they're called, it was the 70s, are trying to form their own like country, essentially, when this is a time where like all of the Earth is basically kind of united. That's simplifying it a lot, but Gundam is very much a political like story. It's not just it's not Power Rangers. there's a lot of politics and bullshit like that, corrupt government officials and things like that going on. That's kind of a recurring theme throughout it. So Casval was the son of the guy who kind of like pioneered this like space noid agenda, right? But the Republic of Zeon was formed, and things immediately went south as Casval's father was supposedly assassinated. It's kind of murky because he kind of technically died of sickness, but technically Casval thinks he was assassinated. He thinks he was assassinated, right? So Casval goes into hiding with his sister and becomes Edward. And then Edward meets this guy who looks exactly like him, whose name is Char.
Okay. Wait, did Prince and the Pauper this thing?
If the Pauper, like, I guess if the Prince was evil, maybe. So Casval, now Edward, meets Char. Char's like, hey, I really want to go into the military academy of Zeon. And Edward's like, oh yeah, that'd be great, because Zeon is now currently run by the people, the zombie family, who I think murdered my dad. So I want to join you. And secretly, I'm going to kill all the zombies, but I want to join you. And so they go to the academy. But on the process, Edward, real name Casval, is like, oh, I know the zombies are still after me. They're sending assassins after me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trick Char into being me, and then I will be Char, and then they'll kill Char, and then I'll become the new Char. So Char has the ball.
I vaguely remember watching this as a kid and being very confused around this moment.
Also, if you have never watched Gundam, but the original Gundam, but you have seen a Gundam series, you've probably seen a character who looks exactly like Char, acts exactly like Char, and like talks like Char. Pretty much every other Gundam series has a Char.
Zex. We had a Char, on our show.
We have Char at home.
Zex, the pilot of Epion, is like just straight up Char with just longer hair. Essentially, he even wears the same mask. The reason why Char wears the mask, by the way, is because he looks identical to the original Char, except for his eye color. So he's got to hide his eyes throughout his whole like.
He's like Captain Falcon.
Academy. Yeah, exactly. So fake Char is now real Char and goes through the academy. Basically, becomes the best pilot ever. Joins the Zeons. It's obviously more complicated than that, but he becomes like the best pilot of the Zeon military force. becomes known as the Red Comet for the color of his mech, and just basically starts fucking shit up in the war against the United Federation, the people of Earth. That's his basic backstory. I'm going to get into his powers in a little bit because he's also, again, Star Wars just came out, so he can use the Force.
So he's a Jedi, yeah.
We'll get
Naturally.
into that. But I want to know about Lelouch's story.
I just want to say I love Asnable as a last name. It sounds like an adjective. Like he's such an Asnable kind of fellow, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds like an
He's
insult.
able to be
Yeah.
Asened.
Look, I love the Gundam series. I hate some of the names they come up with.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so
Really dumb.
fucking
Char
hard.
is a great name,
Char's
but I'm
pretty
sure
good.
it's not intentionally
Oh,
like
get
referencing
ready.
like charred, like fire burning.
Get
sure
ready.
it's
There
just
are
like-
a couple other identities of Char that I will get to, and one of them, you're not ready for this. You're not ready for it.
Oh god.
But anyway, I want
Okay.
to know about Lelouch.
Lelouch, I don't have quite as extensive of a backstory as you did. You kind of big dogged me on that, but Lelouch, Lelouch is the prince of the Holy Britannian Empire. So this is in a version of Earth where I guess it's kind of like 1984, where there's like these major empires that have taken over the world, and Britannia is one of them, and he is the prince. And then his mother is assassinated and his sister is injured. His sister's name is Nunnally, I think. That's what it said on the wiki. It's a really fucking funny name. But he was not happy about that. He's not pleased about his mother's assassination. And so he
Fair.
complained to his dad, the emperor, and his dad said, "Fuck you, you're going to Japan." And he was like sucked into he was like, ah! It was like sent all the way to Japan. That's not what happened. But he went to Japan.
I don't remember that being how you get
He was like, yeah. And he eventually grows up to want to rebel against the Britannian Empire, and he forms this vigilante group called the Order of the Black Knights, and sets about like a world revolution with the help of his special power, his Geass. And you guys can correct me. That's what Google said. That's what multiple different things said. But you can correct me if that's how it's actually pronounced.
It's
But essentially, yes, he has that. He has a special ability and also giant mechs, and also more than giant mechs. He has a lot of like really crazy technology I was not aware of in Code Geass. But yeah, leading a world revolution.
great.
yeah.
He's
clearly-
like Light from Death Note. That's kind of he's been compared character-wise to Light from Death Note, where he wants
Light
to.
from Death
He's
Note,
very
but in a giant
arrogant
robot.
teenager. He's like, yes, it's if Ryuk was a giant pilotable robot, and his Death Note was implanted into his eye.
Okay.
Picked up the Death
Yeah.
Note and it formed a gigantic robot around.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the pitch call for this one. There's a lot of similarities in their stories, even to the like. I think they both piloted like a half-built mech at one point or something like that. It was just like there's a lot of very specific things.
Both piloted robots that weren't finished being built, so they were missing their legs. But they were like the most powerful robot at the time, so they just went with them.
Ben,
Which is
the
great.
backstory on Char, Johan says you lost him in third degree. Says, "Good God, Metal Gear wishes they were as convoluted as this." Also, I know I got a bunch of other super chats. I'll get to
Metal
them
Gear
later.
can hold
I
a
haven't
candle
even
to
gotten
it.
to
That
get
one.
ready. Char has an identity, sort of, that is very important to talk about later on, where he's got some crazy name. I do want to real quick say so. Coming into this, so I really love the Gundam series, but like I never really looked at it personally outside of our own death battles with it. I never really looked at it like oh, I need to know just how fast like this mech is that Char's been in. Char's got like a ton of mechs, by the way. So how fast is the Sazabi? How strong is the Neo Zeong? Like I don't know. So I was like looking into that, and I was like, well, maybe Versus Wiki has some information on it, and they don't on the original like series, but they do have some. And I was like, well, okay, late series stuff might scale to like some of these other shows, and I started looking at it, and Versus Wiki fucking trolled me so hard because if you look at their Gundam pages, I was looking at it and I was like, below average human. That's strange for a giant mech. Oh, this one is below average human level 2. Oh,
What?
they're scaling the fucking toys.
Oh yeah.
every Gundam page I could find had the.
I win!
Yeah.
Below average human!
It's humongous mech versus a gunpla, like little. Like,
Oh, I
guess they're like
win! Yay!
Somebody's fucking around in the versus community with Gundam.
Ben, I think Lelouch would beat a toy. I don't think he even needs his night frame, but I definitely think he does.
Well, Ben,
Um,
just take those numbers and scale them up, right? That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, 1 to 20 or whatever. The,
Yeah.
the
To
scale
be
is.
fair, I don't think
Literally scaling. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't think a plastic action figure would be affected by the Gefyun disruptors. So I think actually that's a point in your favor. Okay.
Wow.
But the
okay,
Hadron
yeah, all right.
cannon, yeah.
So Char has his,
God, that's so funny.
Zaku. He also has his like little Zaku figurine that he spent 2 hours putting together. It is like he painted and everything, and he's ready to just throw it at Lelouch to kill him. Okay, so I can kind of get into. You mentioned like Lelouch has the Geass and those
Yes.
extra powers, so we can get into like their special powers because I think that's going to be really important to kind of make clear what they are, which is unfortunate because
Let's keep it vague.
well,
Kidding.
Gundam does keep it vague.
Oh,
So,
the new type stuff,
Char
right?
is a new type.
Yeah.
Basically, one of the reasons why the Zeon principality exists is because his father theorized that it's kind of ridiculous, but I think that's kind of the point. Humanity was never supposed to stay on Earth. Humanity was supposed to ascend to the stars, and by doing so,
Breed.
humanity would evolve to its like final form, essentially, the new type, and become one with the universe. And this seems to be sort of true, even though technically the most powerful new type in the original series, I believe, was just on Earth. Lala, I'm pretty sure she was just on Earth, so I don't really know if that's meant to say like, actually, Zeon was kind of wrong. But basically, the idea of a new type is it's I say it's kind of like the Force. It's clearly, I think, inspired by it, but more so in terms of like a sort of a classic Japanese psychic like connect with the universe kind of idea, where it's like humanity can connect with the reality of the universe and sort of the like through line of the universe, and become one with it, communicate with it, and kind of like meld with reality. But from a practical standpoint, a new type has precognition. They can kind of predict things. This becomes really like prominent in the original series as Amuro is learning, because he's also a new type. And he starts just predicting what people will do in battle. This is one of the reasons why Char is just so skilled in battle, because he just knows what you're going to do before you're actually about to do it. Telepathy, you can a new type can just psychically talk with people, and it obviously is going to be stronger with other new types. In fact, when new types connect to each other with this telepathic connection, they instantly understand each other. There's this great moment in the original Gundam when Amuro connects with Lala, and they're on opposite sides, but then they connect through telepathy, and they go, "Oh, actually, we could be like friends. Like we totally understand each other. You're awesome. I'm awesome. Like we totally
Teletubby?
get why like we're fighting. Like we could actually like settle this peacefully." And then Char sees this happening and goes like, "That guy's fucking with my girl," and comes and blows him up and completely ruins the whole scene. And then Lala gets killed for it. And it's like, well, Char, you just fucked up.
Die.
There's like minor psychokinesis, like telekinesis, essentially. They can exert mental pressure on people, basically be like, stop what you're doing, and somebody, their target, can like kind of messes with their head or can't think or move. And also, for some reason, they can enlarge their beam sabers.
Yeah, they can.
And
The
make
power
them
of the
really
Schwartz.
big and really,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know why.
How big? Like this?
Like
Yeah.
longer. And unfortunately,
Oh,
the
not-
girth does not
not
increase.
thick.
Just
Okay.
like-
Okay.
Yeah.
Penis.
So that's the general idea of new types. But like the reason why the new type powers matters in terms of a fight is because they're also able to build robots with new type powers in mind. So Char's later mechs specifically take advantage of his like new type powers, and he controls them through new type powers, psychically and telekinetically controlling pieces of the mech. And so he kind of just becomes one with the mech. His later mechs, especially the Suzabi and the Nightingale. It's just like he is one with the robot. The robot moves with him and things like that.
Okay. Yeah. So we had a super chat earlier, Andrew Brown saying, "What mech is Char piloting?" and then proceeds to list a whole lot of proper nouns.
Yeah. I'll get to that in just a second. I want to know about Lelouch's Geass first.
Okay.
Yes, so the Geass is like a magical ability that some person gave to him. Their name is CC. I didn't really look into that stuff. What I did look into was what his Geass is. There are multiple Geasses in the show. They have different abilities. His is, what is it called? The power of absolute obedience. And what it does is if he makes eye contact with you, he can issue a command to you that as long as you are physically and mentally capable of fulfilling it, you will do it. So that's where the kind of light from Death Note.
Okay.
Huh?
The Geass or Geass is an actual word that's basically what it means.
Oh, okay. What does it mean?
That to make somebody
like magical ability,
essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he can issue any command. I think the first command he does in this, I could be wrong about this, but I believe the first command he does in the series, or one of the first, is literally commanding someone to die. He can just say die, and then you'll kill yourself.
Really? Holy shit.
Something.
Okay.
Yeah. He can make you forget things. He can implant commands in you that you will follow for years. You will, when you do those commands, you often forget the moment of being Geassed. You don't remember the Geass process. However, it can only be used. I don't know. It can only be used once per person. So, which would not matter for this fight, right? For a single one-on-one confrontation, right. But
lifetime.
Yeah, you can lifetime only once.
Okay.
The eye contact rule is not entirely correct. That's something that he determines from experimentation. It does work through reflection. So he actually has these chaff grenades that his mech can release, and he was able to. He was facing against a person that was like outside of his Geass's range, which is like 272 meters. I don't know why that specifically, but what he did was he released the chaff into the air, and it's reflective. They're like the little reflective projectiles, and he looked into it, and because there were so many, inevitably one of them like reflected the eyesight from the person that he was talking to.
Of course.
And his Geass, and it showed like it's displayed as like a little laser beam going out of his eyes, bouncing around, and then hitting the other person. So
he just he just has to make eye contact with them in some way.
Yes.
Good Lord.
And he could do it with multiple people at once. They don't even necessarily need to be like looking at his eyes. They just have to be looking at him. And then he issues a command verbally, and they have to be able to hear it.
Interesting.
He once used it on God.
Of course.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so,
and God listened.
Okay, so we know that the human body is technically capable of spontaneous combustion. Has he ever just been like explode?
No, that wouldn't work because you're not physically capable of it.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if he can command you to die because you'll kill yourself, but if you're like, you have cancer, he couldn't say like, you don't have cancer anymore. Like that would you would still have cancer.
I like Chad's technically. How would you explain a little bit, Chad, how the human body is technically capable of spontaneous combustion?
Right?
It happens.
Yeah, there are documented cases of it, right?
Technically speaking,
people bursting into flames.
Not to throw anybody
Are
watching
there?
into a crisis or anything, but technically speaking,
Hold
you
on.
could just randomly explode. By the way, sorry.
Yeah.
No, no, I don't buy your fake news media on this one, Chad. There's no way people just randomly explode, and this is the first I'm hearing of it.
It's true. That's why it's called
It's a thing,
spontaneous
it's a thing.
combustion. That's the spontaneous part.
Yeah.
Like have an organ rupture or something, sure, but nobody has ever just been walking down the street and just Like that's never happened.
That is actually exactly what happened.
It has
However.
happened.
Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
we
Yes,
should
as-
talk about
as-
this more.
As Harney Matthews says, it's when your appendix explodes.
Yeah,
So
that,
if you feel
sure.
pain from your appendix, get it taken care of, or you could just completely combust. Who knows? No. Okay, so we have precognition versus mind control, which is interesting because could Char like predict that he's about to be mind controlled? Like, I don't know if that would necessarily work that way. But either way, the question was brought up about mechs. So I actually want to start with Lelouch on this because I think it's going to be a little easier to determine what robot he's piloting.
Okay.
Right?
No, I mean,
Sam just combusted.
Oh yeah, Sam's gone. He just
Like,
exploded.
oh,
I
there.
didn't combust.
Ah, he's back. You came back.
Okay.
I
Lelouch's mech is not
uncombusted.
easy to determine.
No, it is. It is easy to determine.
Okay.
Well, I think yeah. Sorry, you go. You just. I don't know why
No,
I'm
you go.
interrupting
you.
you.
Go. You go. The
I
floor
can
is
go.
yours, man. You can. do it.
Okay. So, as I understand it, he's had multiple mechs over. They're called nightmares, and let me tell you, that starts with a K because it's a pun. And
Okay.
they're called nightmare frames, and they are just generally speaking about nightmare frames. They're like several meters tall, so ranging from like 4 to 6 meters tall. They're powered by an Yggdrasil drive because if anime writers love one thing,
It's
is the word
Norse
Yggdrasil and
Yeah, like-
Norse words. And that contains an element called sakuradite, which is just this crazy magic rock that can do anything and fuck with reality. And we'll get to it.
Okay.
The nightmare frames are all equipped with these things called fact spheres, which are thermographic sensors and like high definition cameras to be able to see, in the mech. They carry master vibration swords, which are these very powerful cutting swords. Lelouch's main mech, I think, by the end of the series is Shinkiro, and that was constructed from the wreckage of his previous mech, Gawain. Shinkiro is a 7th generation nightmare frame. It's extremely powerful, top of its class. It comes with an air glide system, which allows it to fly. It can transform into a submarine or a jet.
Fun.
It has hadron cannons, which are like like hadron colliders, where it's like they bring little particles together, subatomic particles, and smash them together. Well, he can shoot that shit at you. He can just aim it at you and blow you up. There are these great shots when he's just like he has like his very anime. His robot's arms are like stretched out like in the kind of a Jesus pose, and he's just turning in the middle of the battlefield, like high above Tokyo, and he's just firing the hadron cannons, and just the sky is being lit up with explosions, like all over the city, like over hundreds of meters. He's just blowing shit up like fucking crazy. He has a zero beam, which is this super powerful chest laser. If it want to concentrate it, it can fire out of its chest, and it's extremely strong, one of the strongest things in the series. But also there is a prism that's on its chest that if it detaches, it can fire into the prism and then shoot out like a million like laser pinpoint beams. So we can do a one condensed one or like an ocean of like little lasers.
Right.
It has slash harkens, which are these like kind of anchors, like jet propelled anchors attached to wires that he can kind of throw around. What it is most known for, though, is the absolute defense system. And the absolute defense system is a system in the mech that projects these hexagonal force fields anywhere around the mech. They can block just about anything. The only time they've ever been destroyed is when it's like, my super, super powerful weapon is fired at like exact point blank range into the thing. And then they can be disrupted. But besides that, they're impenetrable. And it uses this thing called the Druid system, which calculates the trajectory of projectiles as they're coming. And then the user of the mech has to like type into their keyboard a series of calculations insanely quickly as the projectiles are coming at them. And then they block like everything super specifically. That sounds impossible, and it basically is for most people, except for Lelouch, who is a fucking super genius, like insanely smart, and he's able to like do all of this stuff at once. It's kind of like in a similar vein to like Epion, remember, where it's like you can see the future coming, but you have to be able to like sift through the data and pick one. It's that same kind of idea. So insanely busted like force field defense system. It also comes with a communication jammer, which can prevent people from like other mechs from communicating. It's invisible. His mech is invisible to radar and other tracking systems, and it can resist Gefyun disruptors, which are these specific things that we'll talk about later that can fuck with technology, and specifically Sakuradite technology. So yeah, Shinkaro is busted. Very, very strong mech.
Interesting. Okay. We got some super chats to get to, but I do want to cover Char's mechs before we get to that. And then right after, I think what we'll do is Char's mechs, super chats, and then we'll get into like Champion Island stuff.
Sounds
so
good.
the reason why Char's mechs is a little complicated is because there are multiple timelines. There are technically, I think, 3 different endings to Char's story, and then there's also like a little asterisk to that because there's another story afterwards. The original author of Char's Counterattack didn't really like what the movie was doing, so he made a new book with it. Either way, there are a couple different robots that you could bring in as Char's like ultimate mech. The first is the Sazabi, which is the mobile suit from the movie Char's Counterattack. For the record, none of these are technically Gundams, but they are competing with Gundams in the Universal Century.
This is a dumb question. What's a Gundam if it's not a giant mech?
So the Gundam is specifically in Universal Century. A Gundam is specifically a mech that uses Gundanium.
Okay.
As its like main material, and they're primarily made by the Federation. So the Federation's first, the whole like deal of the war, like the original war, is that Zeon learned how to make these like mobile suit mechs and just started mass producing them. They had like hundreds of them, and the the Earth Federation was like, what the fuck is this? And all these like robots started descending on them and blowing up their tanks. And they're like, what do we do about this? So they decided to start working on their own, but instead of just mass producing a bunch, they focused in on like, let's make the ultimate mech.
Yeah. And it's like Panzers versus Abrams. Like American Abrams tanks were mass produced. There's a ton of them, but they were shitty. The Panzers were fewer, but they were really fucking tough.
That's a great comparison, I think.
I love how they just named it after what it was made out of. It's like if we called tanks like Steelies. This is a Steely.
It's like movies. It's the movie rule, right? Like because they move.
So the Zeon mechs had to up their game, right? And they started trying to capture Gundams to like learn how they work and things like that. So Sazabi was designed to compete with Gundams and actually just completely outclassed the Gundams of its time. So the Sazabi, the idea behind the Sazabi is that it completely melds with Char's new type abilities, and he's just one with the machine. And the reason why it can do this is because of something called the Psycho Frame. And the Psycho Frame basically allows him, like the way they depict it is when they get into the mech just disappears. And now Char on screen is just in space. He's just doing things. He sees everything around him. He's moving like the mech is, etc. The mech itself has these things called funnels, which were originally, I believe, used with Lala, who also had a mech who like took advantage of her psychic powers. The idea of funnels is that they're these little like satellites that pop out of the mech and can kind of just zip around wherever they want because they're not powered by jets or anything like that. They're just telekinetically connected to the pilot. And they fire lasers. So Sazabi has 6 of these that fire these light speed particle beams. And of course, as with every mech in the Gundam series, Sazabi is filled with guns, and more guns. It's basically just like every type of machine gun, bazooka, rocket launcher, or particle beam cannon you can think of, the Sazabi has it. So that's like the main idea behind the Sazabi. I'll get into the Psycho Frame in a little bit because it's more prominent with a later mech. The alternate timeline has the Nightingale, which is basically just an upgrade of Sazabi. The only real difference is that it has 10 funnels instead of 6 funnels. Woo! So it's 10 little satellites flying around shooting lasers.
Now with 4 more funnels.
But
Sorry.
Char does ultimately lose in Char's counterattack. He does die because, wow, shocker, he's the bad guy. You know why he's the bad guy? He drops fucking asteroids on Earth. Like that's his like main go-to attack. Is like, he takes over Zeon basically, and is like, as the new leader of Zeon and this proponent that we should like destroy the Earth Federation, I'm just gonna start dropping asteroids on the planet. So
What a dick!
And he succeeds. Actually, he does this multiple times. It fucks shit up.
I thought he was like the antagonist, but not a villain. But he sounds like a villain.
He starts off as the antagonist, not a villain, because he wants revenge for his dad. But after he kills all the zombies, and he's like, well, what do I do now? Well, I guess I'll take over Zeon, like, because my dad, formed it or whatever.
That's funny.
And then I will like further his aims of everybody should be living in space. So let's just blow up Earth. I think the idea, the way I read Char, is that once he accomplishes his revenge story, he doesn't really have anything left. So it's just kind of like, I guess I'll just keep doing this part of what's going on with Zeon. Oh, also, I hate Amuro. So a lot of his people, like when the new Superman came out, a lot of people compared Lex's like hater energy to Reverse Flash. I think you could also compare it to Char's hatred of Amuro, because like there is this ongoing thing in the series of Char's just like, fuck that guy, I want to kill him. But unlike Reverse Flash and Lex, Char is very much a like, I'm gonna do it honorably though. So the Sazabi beat the shit out of Amuro's Gundam, but he wouldn't kill him because he was like, this is just unfair. My Psycho Frame is way more powerful than his Gundam. So I'm just gonna give him the Psycho Frame. I'm gonna leak my Psycho Frame technology to Orlando Bell, the organization Amuro is working for, so that next time we fight, he's got it, and then we're gonna have like a fair fight. And this obviously backfired. And Amuro beat him.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's his thing. But like, this is important because Char dies, and then later on, another Zeon shows up, and Char's there. Char's back. He's alive somehow. What happened? Why is he there? Well, turns out
somehow Char returns.
Somehow Char returned as a clone, and for some fucking reason, his name is Full Frontal.
Like full frontal assault, right? That's totally
He's just full frontal.
No.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, and his
that called Neo Zeon
called Throat.
Neo Zeon can compete with like the Unicorn Gundam, which is like the most powerful Gundam in this timeline. It's like creating barriers that can block literally anything. Completely in tune with the Psycho Frame. It's crazy powerful. But the reason why I bring it up is because like I don't know if people would technically count Full Frontal as Char, even though technically he is a clone of Char who also possesses a piece of Char's soul. So like I think he's Char, even though he's kind of a different person. It's a whole thing. But yeah, his name is Full Frontal.
Why is his name Full Frontal?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I don't remember it ever explained.
They never give. Okay, that's wild.
What is a Psycho Frame?
So a Psycho Frame is essentially it's just another tool for the machine to tap into new type powers. The trick with the Psycho Frame is that the whole idea is that it taps into it to the point that they build the Psycho Frame. Char's people build the Psycho Frame, and then they start using it, and they go, "Oh fuck, we actually don't know what this thing is capable of." It taps into new type so powerfully, and we don't understand new type enough that we don't really know what this Psycho Frame is capable of. And this becomes really important at the end of the series because when Char and Amuro are fighting with their Psycho Frames, lights start shooting everywhere, and then they ascend to a new plane of existence and become gods or something. It's unclear.
Yeah, sick.
Higher dimensional Gundam.
They basically break reality and die or pass on. It's unclear. But this comes up again with Full Frontal. God damn it! Because his machine also has the Psycho Frame, and when he's fighting the Unicorn Gundam, it activates, and instead of him just vanishing into the ether, he tells the Unicorn Gundam, like, let me show you how this all began, and then he uses it to time travel. The ending of the series basically involves Full Frontal going back in time, watching the entire events of like the series, and then going like, you know what? Let's go to the end of the universe. They just teleport to blackness, and Full Frontal goes, oh, you know what? This is actually a really bad idea. This is giving me an existential crisis. I don't really want to do this anymore. And then he sees Char's spirit somehow and is like, I'm done. And so his soul leaves his body and rejoins Char.
What the
So
Earlier in the stream, somebody, I can't remember their name, they gave a super chat, a $20 super chat for finally a cast that wasn't Reality Warpers.
Yeah, I got
We
it.
may need to refund that one.
I
We're
know it wasn't
sorry,
the ending
gang.
to the whole series, but it was the ending of Full Frontal's story. So technically speaking, the Psycho Frame can time travel, though only Full Frontal did it. He seemed to have control over it, but he only did it once. So and then part of it also involved him like seeing Char's spirit and going like, yeah, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Okay. Yeah, and Sam, that was Cody. He said, by the way, are we
Cody,
truly
yeah.
free of reality warping with Lelouch's eyes that can convince gods and Char's new type powers? So
Full
Yeah.
Frontal time travel actually does have a
Hell
ring
yeah.
to it. I don't know why
That's a
putting
great
it all
band
together.
name.
Yeah, Full
Literally,
Frontal
as you
time
bring that
travel.
up, Chad, 10 Tails just dropped another $100 super chat. And
What?
just when we escape reality bending power, of course, someone that polite pilots a mech to ascend to godhood and turn back time. So yeah, so this is the kind of power we're talking about. Again,
Thank
I
you,
don't
10
know if we can really apply the time travel thing because it's Char's clone, and then it's like he only did it once, but technically it is a thing he can do.
A lot of chat got really sold to your argument just at the name Full Frontal, but then after that, there's some people being like, that's not really Char. They're like, it's more of like a Metal Gear Solid situation. But I get what you're saying. It is a piece of his soul that could do it, and then that piece did go rejoin his main soul. So like, they're kind of the same.
It is him. He's a clone who has a piece of his soul, but he does act slightly different outside of the fact that he does have a little bit of that honorable streak. But he's kind of he's kind of a nihilist. He's kind of just like an even meaner version. I mean, Char was also already an asshole, but like Full Frontal's like a fucking dick. He's also not in charge. Yeah, I know. He's also not in charge. Char was in charge of New Neo Zeon or whatever it's called.
New Neo Zeon? Fuck
it's something
off.
Like that. Because there have been like 5 different Zeons.
I
you forgot Quattro. Yeah. He also was named Quattro at one point.
Yeah, Quattro. Bajin, something like that. I saw
Quattro Bajin sounds like a fucking weed strain.
Earlier that they think they saw some sort of interview where Gundam writers had mentioned that they intentionally try to make their names stupid to try to get it past the producers, which is very funny.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true, but
I am genuinely curious about how Full Frontal as a name happened, in like if they were like just trying to troll, if they just thought it was
sounds
funny.
like they're trying to fuck with you, right?
I mean, he's like Full Frontal Assault, I imagine is what it was. Like,
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I don't believe that. Like, his full name is not Full Frontal Assault. I know that. It's just Full Frontal.
Tackle or Tickle says Full Frontal time travel. That's just Terminator.
Okay, I have something to talk about with Lelouch that I don't know about time travel clones and soul shit. I don't think it gets that crazy, but it is, I think, more battle applicable. I'll say that.
Okay.
Is that after Lelouch ascends to the throne of Britannia, he gets access to Damocles, and Damocles is an enormous floating fortress.
Not a parable. Oh,
it is.
Does it float over the heads of rich people?
It floats over in orbit over the planet, and it can strike at any point in anywhere on the planet.
So
it is 3 kilometers long. It's fucking enormous.
So this is supposed to be like a sort of Damocles kind of thing.
Yes,
Okay.
this was named
So what did
intentionally.
he use Damocles for?
Well, it has a kind of weapon called a Fleija. This is capital. This is like an acronym, I think. It's FLEIJA. Remember, I mentioned Sacrodite, which is that that magic ore before. So it has a Sacrodite warhead that can be launched and hit anywhere on the Earth at any time. And when it hits, it completely erases matter from existence with a range of a radius of 100 kilometers. So, like, it can just fully
matter
erase
erasure.
like a small country
Just-
from
and not like
existence.
blown up.
No,
to-
not like
to
disintegration,
atoms, like erase.
like no more atoms.
Like,
Yeah.
delete key just on a like God does a mouse scroll delete kind of shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Matthew
It
Hughes
also
says
has-
it's a nuke without the radiation. Okay.
Yes. It also has these things called Gefun disturbers. I am not sure to pronounce that. It's GEFJUN. I'm assuming it's that. And those can disrupt the nightmare frames and any kind of technology. They disrupt the Sacrodite in it. They can block radio waves and microwaves, as well as the computers, and even the gear prevent the gears from turning within the nightmare frames. So it has weapons that can like completely shut down technology, essentially, as well. So that's really something, because I feel like even like if it doesn't, even if the Fleija doesn't hit Char's like mech, which I doubt it would be able to. I don't think Char would be able to like fly away because it's 100 fucking kilometers in every direction. Like that's fucking crazy.
I mean, you can't just go up. Like
but 100 kilometers in like
I'd
a
say
second.
If a satellite was about to, if we're bringing like other things outside of the max into the situation, Char does technically own Axis, which is a space colony, or rather like a mining colony, which is basically just a massive asteroid that has rockets on it that he shot at Earth. So basically his plan in Char's counterattack was to shoot Axis at Earth and just like send Earth into a nuclear winter. So he could just do that. You know, it's kind of a Hail Mary. But that's
this
also
is taking a wild turn.
Anyway. I do want to get to super chats, and then we're going to get to the poll in just a bit, but we also need to get to Champions Island. So we have a few things that we need to hit in the next 10 minutes.
I'm going to go quick. Vamlater way back said, I forgot to say this last week, but with 200 episodes released, we must look to the future. And fun fact, for the current release schedule, it'll be 61 years until episode 1000. Looking forward to it.
We'll almost certainly be dead.
Well, maybe the next generation.
Yeah. Someone.
Logan's been pitching me death battles lately. Anyway,
Tell
Michael
him to use the form, dude. Don't let him. Fuck that.
Yeah.
The Google look like, hey, kid, no.
Yeah. Michael McDowell says, I mean, if Henry Stickman wins Champion Island, he's probably going to fight the Chosen One. That was when we were talking about how popular.
Yeah. It's a possibility.
Yeah, Orange Blaster. This one said, can they warp reality though? Yep, we found out about that, didn't we?
Or at least they can erase it.
Lelouch's Char was Asuka before Asuka. And then let's see. Death Metal Fan says, what submissions got you guys surprised to see from the
We'll get to that when we show which one.
Yeah, for sure. Gilded gifted out 5 memberships. Thank you, Gilded. Dude Blade, 1, 10 tails, are you an oil baron or something? 2, a $20 celebration for a non-reality warper cast. Oh yeah,
sorry.
We already have your $20, dude. All right. Says I can't get into Gundam because I know I go bankrupt on the models. Looking forward to learning more here. Yeah, well, Ben learned a lot about models unintentionally.
We made a joke about Quattro and his weird name before. Quattro Vagina is his name.
Yeah, something like that.
So 4 vaginas.
That
is literally what it is intended to be.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I've seen this in the Discord.
That's funny.
Oh my god. Okay, cool. So let's go. Falco, I don't know who he's talking about. Says sadly his losses were to someone who was dumb enough to try to buy clothes at the soup store. I don't know if that was Gundam or
that's code Geass. That's a little joke, little abridged series. I've been soup.
Cosmic says the idea behind Full Frontal meant he was nothing but a blank slate to be overwritten. It's ambiguous if he's a Char clone or cybernetic
Yeah,
conditioned to
okay.
be Char. The creators legit didn't know about the euphemism. Okay. Also, I mean, I guess it's ambiguous from his original creator.
Doubt.
It's not ambiguous by the end of the series. Like he's got a piece of Char's soul.
Also, full frontal meant to be nothing but a blank slate is like, how does full frontal, like, call him tabula,
didn't intend it,
rasa or some shit, like,
don't buy it.
Yeah, I maybe one of them did, but I'm pretty sure everybody pitched.
How would it have been translated without somebody being aware of that? You know?
There were two people, and they were very, very busy, and they're like, "We're each gonna pitch an idea and go with the best one." And the first guy goes, "Full frontal," and then the second guy goes, "That's terrible. I'll best you. Hey, let me get this. It's Char reanimated. We'll call him Let's go full frontal." I think is what likely happened with my concept here. Because there's no good excuse for such a silly name for a character that's supposed to be a big bad.
We do need to get off of this so that we can get to Champions Island. Because we have a full slate of competitors that we need to announce. So Sam, if you can get that coin flip ready, we'll get to that in just a second. Before we do that, I do want to mention that if you don't know, we just recently wrapped up our longest ballot banter series yet. You guys posted hundreds of matchup ideas on the Discord ballot, and we went through every single one. So it's time for a new ballot. The Galaxy ballot is opening up tomorrow on the Death Battle Discord. Starting tomorrow, Galaxy level YouTube members will find a new ballot in the Death Battle Discord that you can submit your ideas to. It will be open through this weekend, closing on Sunday. But since we don't have a ballot banter live stream this Wednesday, we have something else. Last week, the champions got to see an experimental video that of us trying out a game called Blood on the Clock Tower. And this Wednesday, so tomorrow, assuming the video gets done in time because it's a very long video, we're going to be releasing a second video of us playing Blood on the Clock Tower, and this time it will be for everyone to see. It will be public on the Death Battle YouTube channel.
It'll be live.
Yeah, it'll be a live stream tomorrow. If you don't know what Blood on the Clock Tower is, think of it like a really involved game of werewolves. It's a social deduction game where everyone has special powers, and they're trying to discern who among them is a murderous demon. And it gets very wild, and everybody gets paranoid, and it's very fun, but it's also it can get to be a lot as we're all trying to deduce what everybody is.
That was quite a wild episode to film.
Yeah. Even more, next month we're going to be at a Blood on the Clock Tower convention. This just kind of happened naturally, which was fascinating. We're going to be in Las Vegas at Clock Tower Con between October 24th and 26th at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Clock Tower Con is a community gathering for the game, and we're going to be hosting a panel alongside our good friends Lisa Foyles and Danny Shepard. So Jocelyn and Ismahawk are going to be there, which is exciting. An Ismahawk fight is coming up, Blade versus Buffy. Yeah, it's going to, I think, technically air before that, but like it's going to be around the same time. Great timing. Yep. So if you want to join in, you can get tickets at VegasClockTowerCon.com. That's VegasClockTowerCon.com.
The link
We're also
below.
doing a contest. Yeah, there's a link below, and we're doing a contest where you can get a free pass to the con. Just click the link in the description, and that will set you up for a chance to win. But do it quick because the contest ends October 3rd, which I believe is this Friday. So yeah, it ends in just a couple days. So hope you enjoy our Blood on the Clock Tower video tomorrow, and that we can see you at the Clock Tower Con coming up in October. It's gonna be fun. And yes, Cody, Blade versus Buffy is live action.
I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a heads up, it's live action. Yeah. We're gonna be announcing the actors for that pretty soon. Man, it's gonna be very fun to talk about, but we don't have time to get into it. We need to get to the Champions Island stuff. So the way this works is there have been 32 characters that you all have been voting on the Discord, and it's time to determine which characters are making it into the competition. The way it worked was each of you joined a team, Team Wiz or Team Boomstick. And based on the votes that you guys gave each character, we split up the character. Well, we didn't split up the characters. We basically organized each team's list of characters by number of votes. And we're going to be doing a draft pick. So each team is going to get characters based on their number of votes. And as we go down the list, if one character's already been taken, that team just skips to their next character. Which means we have to start with a coin flip. Sam, do we have like
I have a
is it
coin.
going to be just a literal coin flip?
I tried one of the apps that had so many ads on it, and I was like, why don't I just flip a coin?
All right.
We're gonna do the flip, and then we're gonna do the like this,
Sam
right?
Flip a coin.
That's what it is. Yeah, of course you do.
I don't think Sam has a
like,
dog
"Da-da."
in this race.
No,
He has a dog in reality.
I will say this coin flip does determine a
Yeah.
few things, not just
Yeah.
which team gets the first character, but both teams put the most votes on the same character.
Yeah.
So it does determine
kinda-
like the same character's number one on both lists. So we'll determine whose team that character goes to. And it's
So
very-
Chad's right. I have no dog in this race until I flip the coin, and then I think I know which side I want. But anyways, are you all ready
All right,
for
so
this
what
exciting?
side is which?
Yeah, you got to call it.
Heads.
I was
Team
gonna
wins.
call
Too
head.
bad, buddy. Ben's got
Team
All right.
wins heads, Team Boomstick is tails. Let's
Oh,
go.
I was gonna do the
All right.
voice too.
Flip that coin.
I did. Are you ready?
Yeah.
That's tails. Chad wins.
Yes.
Team
All right.
Boomstick is going to get the first pick. So let's go ahead
Y'all
and
ready to
play that
watch?
draft.
Let's go.
Victory.
Welcome, one and all, to Champions Island.
There you go.
Hey.
There we go.
Yeah.
And that's the teams.
We got Miku.
Yeah, Miku was the one that could go either way. There was also some changes at the end depending on, the coin flip and whatnot. But like we've got our 16 contestants. These characters are going to be assigned to these teams for the next several weeks as you all are going to be competing on the Discord to determine which team gets immunity every week. The team that doesn't get immunity gets one of their characters voted off the island. So we're going to take like a week or so to get everything set up. But in 2 weeks, we're going to start the first challenge. So make sure you are on the Discord. You can make sure that you're part of the team that like your character is on. If
Yeah.
there's a specific character that you,
You
really
can-
want to like make sure you're try to keep in the game. You can feel free to jump into another team. But yeah, you can join either Team Wiz or Team Boomstick, rep your character, and then in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a competition for the first immunity challenge. Aside from, there are 2 characters who already have immunity thanks to the Golden Heart. I believe it was Springtrap and Kamen Rider Geass. That was something you guys voted on in the last day of the ballot vote, or not the ballot vote, the Discord vote. So they are already safe for the first challenge. So get ready. It's going to be exciting. The way this is going to work is starting in 2 weeks. The first challenge will happen. It's going to be like a trivia game, essentially, between the 2 teams. So Team Wiz and Team Boomstick will both kind of compete in a Death Battle trivia game that goes through episodes of Death Battle. And whichever team wins gets immunity. The other team is going to have to vote somebody off the island. And that's going to go on until we get to the final 2, where you will vote for the champion of Champions Island. I mean, if you've seen Survivor, it's basically that. So
And Newbie says swaps open after cast
Yeah.
ends, so I assume that's if you want to just change teams.
Yeah. Lily says a moment of silence for Piccolo and Phoenix. Screw that. A moment of silence for Mael, dude. What are you talking about here? That's the fucking loss of this whole thing. That's my great disappointment. I should have tried harder to steer and to get in there. I could have given infinite golden hearts, but I didn't. I didn't cheat, and I regret it.
Same.
We're very excited for this. This is because again, the winning character of this whole event is going to be guaranteed a death battle, and you all will be voting for the matchup that character is in. And this is obviously way more involved and way more ambitious than previous examples of this sort of thing we've done in the past, like Tournament of Champions. But the mods are hyped about this. They got all sorts of like really creative ideas for challenges that I'm just excited to see, how they play out and who wins. So get ready for that. The trivia is the first one, but then the second one is going to be completely different. Third one's completely different. Every challenge is different. So yeah, it's going to be fun. So if you're not in the Death Battle Discord, all you have to do is make sure you are a member of the YouTube channel. Click that join button down below, become a member. Whatever tier I believe it's fine. And then go to your Discord account on Discord, and there's like a setting on Discord where you can link your Discord account to your YouTube account. And so long as that's linked, you will be able to. It should invite you to the Death Battle Discord, and you will have everything you need from there. Although, do make sure once you join the Death Battle Discord. Read the rules. It should take you automatically to like a page with like rules of conduct and things like that. And also rules for the Champions Island tournament. It's not like super long. There's not a whole lot to read, but it is important. Yeah, to make sure you understand how like the community works and things like that. Especially as we are jumping into a competition where a lot of people are going to be involved. So please do read that. We would appreciate that. But we are excited to see a bunch of people joining the Discord for this. It's a very exciting time.
Speaking of members, Night Ghost gifted out 5 today, and then Bamalator gifted out 10. Then Night Ghost gifted out their traditional single special member one. So yeah, appreciate all of those, everybody.
Yeah, thank you everyone for the gifted memberships, for joining as members, for the super. We got a bunch of super chats. Oh my gosh.
I know, dude. I still have.
Maybe we'll cover some of them during a champion cast in a bit, because we do need to get to this vote or to this poll for who wins between Char and Lelouch. I think we'll probably talk a lot about champion cast in or about Champions Island and champion cast as well. I'm sure there's a lot that we have to talk about, because like some of those characters that you guys voted in, man, because all the characters are based off of nominations from you guys, right? Like none of these characters are specifically here because we thought of them. We took them from your nominations. All right, so it's time for the poll. And I know like Char and Lelouch have a lot going on, and there's like tons more we could talk about, but we do have to get to this poll. Go ahead and vote for who you think wins between Lelouch and Char as Noble. Or full frontal if you want to. Like if you want to include
do not put full frontal as an option. That is so unfair.
Yeah, if you
that
should have.
If Char loses, I'm gonna
Such
redo the
bullshit.
poll and put full frontal. Yeah, go ahead and get your votes.
Remember, everyone,
for who wins between Lelouch and Char. Wow, it is very close.
Char is plastic action figures. Below average human level. Ben said so. Nightmare Frames supersonic in terms of speed. They can fly faster than jets, and potentially in the hundreds of tons to kilotons in terms of energy, in terms of cloud dispersal. So keep that in mind when you vote.
The Psycho Frames, well, it's a robot inside of a Gundam that's made out of Gundanium. You can't beat that. You can't beat Gundanium.
I saw you blew someone's mind earlier, Sam, when you said should be calling them Steelies. I just somebody in all caps goes, "Wait, that's why we call them movies?" Like,
yeah.
Crack me up.
Yeah, because films that had sound were called talkies. Because they could talk.
Did y'all know why tanks are called tanks?
Why is that?
Do you?
But yeah, because they like essentially were trying to keep it secret that they were making these things. Like tanks didn't exist, and then so all the documentation for them was stored under designs for like new sorts of water and liquid tanks, so that spies would be like, oh, that's just a new like liquid storage container, why do we care? And then it just stuck.
Then it comes rolling over the hill. You're like, what
That's a big
So
water
the
tank.
only reason why they're not called Steelies is because tank is a code word.
Essentially, yeah.
Did you know that
Interesting.
snafu is an acronym?
No, it's
It's a military acronym. Situation normal, all fucked up.
military dad.
That's a really, really good one. Situation normal.
And
all fucked
Fubar.
up.
We have all fucked
Yeah,
up,
Fubar, I
guys.
knew.
This is a very close poll. We are currently at 49% and 51%.
I don't
want
wanna
to
know.
full frontal in the poll. Would that
Yeah.
have changed things? All right, let's go ahead and wrap up this poll. And
I like
God damn it,
Piranha
I'm about to
VA
click this, and
said,
YouTube's going to take a percentage, and it's going to be 50-50,
yeah,
right?
full frontal.
Oh no, yeah, go. Yeah, do it. End it.
All right,
You
all
let
right, closing my
YouTube
eyes.
decide.
3, 2, 1.
Let YouTube decide. Eat the 1%.
What is
It
it?
didn't do
It's
it.
a tie.
It didn't
It's a
do it.
legit tie.
It's a
It
tie.
appears.
Shit. Okay, hang on. New poll.
No,
New poll.
no,
Lelouch, Char, full frontal.
no. I
All right,
win.
everybody
I
get your
won.
votes in.
I won. No, I won.
No, nobody won. It's 50-50.
I
So we need a
won.
new one. Look, you have a
Who was
benefit here.
who was it before you closed it? Who was 51?
It was 50-50. There was no
it
50.
literally was 50.
It was 51 to Char, and then it went to 50,
Oh.
and that's when I closed my eyes.
Okay. Well,
so
Yeah.
there was
good
clearly a
benefit
late
here.
swing.
I'm splitting the votes between Char and full frontal potentially, or everybody's just gonna vote for full frontal. Okay, full frontal wins with 56% of the vote.
Yeah. full frontal.
Such bullshit.
I think it was Savannah in the chat
okay,
pointed out.
50-50. That's crazy.
Oh, hey, King Campbell says, really wish Liam had this information a second ago. Says, also Geass has outsmarted a telepath that was able to read his mind and then later go on to beat someone who can predict the future.
Nah, we don't need to worry about that.
Sam, coin flip for who wins.
I got the coin. What do you want? Heads?
Tails.
Oh, twice in a row? Bold. We got heads, baby.
Fuck!
All right, join us in Champion.
Yeah, all right, we're going to jump over to Champions Cast right now. If you stick around, you should automatically move over to it, so long as you are a member of the YouTube channel. Again, we have the Galaxy Banter opening up, or Galaxy Ballot opening up next week. The week after that, the Champions Island tournament begins in full. The first event will occur, which is a trivia event that will be in the Death Battle Discord. And then later in October, at the end of October, we will be at Clock Tower Con in Las Vegas. There's a link down below that you can click to go to their website and also potentially win a tickets to Clock Tower Con. Thank you everybody for watching. What a crazy episode. Excited to get Champions Cast or Champions Island going. And we have a lot to talk about with that in Champions Cast. So stick around.
Skeletober begins.
Next week.
October starting
Yeah.
It's tomorrow, technically, but next week.
tomorrow. Next. Oh my God, we have so many words. Next Death Battle Cast is going to be the first Skeletober cast of the year. So stay tuned.
So excited.
All right.
Bye.
See y'all.